Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for July 19th through the 25th of 2020. This week kicks off with our second Cancer new moon in a 28-day lunar cycle, which is fairly rare. It only happens every 18 months. That kicks off a new rhythm for us. This is a powerful second chance to start anew in your Cancer area of life, which is the house in your chart. We are getting a double dose of new beginning energy that is so needed and necessary, considering the large-scale endings we are dealing with. This month gets personal, thanks to Cancer energy, and the new moon plus eclipse energies are helping us all seed a renewed internal stability, a deeper heart connection, and what quality soul nourishment really means to each of us. It is time to initiate something that you're willing to be responsible for nurturing to its full development and releasing to the universe. Something born from you. Cancer is the best time to practice deep self-care, so you are a more reliable vehicle for bringing your creations to life. Where is the fertile ground in your life, environment, or world at this time? Where's the fertile ground? What personal tending is up for you at this time? What basic fundamentals do you need to feel loved, supported, well-fed, and cared for? Cancer Capricorn are both about the basics in life, emotional and physical security, food and shelter. It's about feeling what needs to be done and doing it. So don't give in to emotional overwhelm. Instead, as you develop a whole new way of containing, nurturing, and protecting your life force energy, the fuel, what you eat or feed others, you are subsequently honoring your own feelings and nature. Remember, Cancer is how we feel on the inside about the Capricorn reality we're living on the outside. So if there is a discrepancy, the new moon is the time to seed a new vision. Every astrologer has their way in, or their primary focus, and one of mine is cycles. And eclipses run in very trackable cycles every 9 and 18 years. This new moon is special for a number of reasons. One is that it is the second new moon in Cancer in one 28-day cycle, which only happens every 18 months, and sometimes it's 2 new moons, sometimes it's 2 full moons back to back. This is also special because it is the first new moon in Cancer since the last eclipse in the Cancer Capricorn series. Normally that would happen 6 months later, not 1 month later. But even that is revealing how we are navigating some consolidated evolution in a very short time. This is our chance to plant seeds for the new cycle that the eclipses just kicked off. So it is bigger, more potent, and more important than usual. The last time we experienced Cancer Capricorn eclipses was 2009 to 2011, and before that, 2000 to 2002. So it is good to reflect on those years to determine what patterns may be repeating in your life. So also remember the segue after those years, 2012 and 2003, very wild and crazy in the social collective realms, evolutionary time, most definitely. And that's the year we're crossing over into with the new Gemini-Sag eclipses that follow. But anyway, it's good to reflect on those years to determine what patterns may be repeating in your life. The value of recognizing any pattern is so you can co-create with it more consciously and repeat less mistakes. Forgetfulness is the primary source of suffering in my book. So with that in mind, it's good to know where we are in the annual cycle, which also supports the eclipse cycle we just came through. So it's this midpoint in the year that's really good for this kind of review and check-in. That is Monday the 20th. Also on Monday, we have Sun opposed Saturn. And I touched on this last week because it already opposed Jupiter and Pluto together. And this is the third, like they're all together again, the 3 of them. So we're transforming the reality, we're transforming the story. We're changing what we believe to be true and possible, and we're changing the reality we're living in day to day. And we get to co-create with that. So if we can take some time this summer to check in with ourselves, post everything, and come up with what the plan is for the remainder of this year, which is still going to have these 3 together in Capricorn until December, when they all shift toward Aquarius. Well, not Pluto, but Pluto's only got another couple of years. 2024 it moves into Aquarius, which is basically around the corner. But Jupiter and Saturn are going to move into Aquarius for 21, and that kicks off a whole new 20-year cycle for everyone. So this time when it's Sun and Mercury, it's for us. It's our personal, individual activations that we can turn to navigate our lives with a little more ease and grace and consciousness, just awareness, right? And so the other thing I think I touched on last week as well was that with these activations happening Sun before Mercury, it means that we're integrating and initiating various aspects of ourselves and as an individual. The Sun represents you, but Mercury is your mind and your consciousness and your ideas, thoughts, and concepts. So as you change, then your thinking and your ideas evolve as well. So next week, or whenever it's coming up, I think it's the last week in July when Mercury makes its run through there and does the same thing we're doing with the Sun last week and this week. It's going to help wire things also after the Mercury retrograde. So let's just know we're kind of maybe coming out of a certain zone all through August, and then clarity will be much easier by fall harvest. We're really going to know what we have at harvest time. So the 20th is the new moon on the same day that Sun opposes Saturn. So I think that's really juicy for any kind of magic and ritual, ceremony, prayer that you want to do, because it's all about you and your reality. It's also an annual process that we go through every year. So feel into that and how it feels every year when Sun opposes Saturn and asks us to really have that reality check, what's going on. It's an annual process of development. The Sun makes it personal and about you, the individual. Saturn helps move your timeline along and build the literal aspects of your life, the basics of providing for yourself, food and shelter, etc., and your personal limitations. What renewed aspect of self got activated about 6 months ago, and how do you want that to fully develop over the next 6 months? Okay, so time out. This one, most of you know, I write my forecast 2 years ahead of time. So I'm always going for the general energy until we get there, and I got to talk about the energy on the ground in the moment that's also flavoring this. So we know that 6 months ago is pretty much the kickoff of COVID. And when we hit this midpoint 6 months in, a lot of us hit the wall with exhaustion behind it. So take this with a grain of salt, but also honor that you're also at this perfect time in the year, in the season, in this time to check in and ask yourself where you're at with just you, the individual. It's a potent midpoint, and I love the midpoints in any cycle because they're the most powerful course-correcting time in the cycle. So this one being an annual meeting between Sun and Saturn, a checkpoint between you and your responsibilities. See how much that's changed in 6 months? More than usual, right? Each year you evolve, some years more consciously than others. So this is a good time to check in with your own personal definitions of what you are or are no longer responsible for. Often this energy activates a push-pull between who you are and who you want to be, between what you want to do and what you have to do. My age-old advice is do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. That was always the rule in my house with my son. You can do anything you want, but you got to handle business first. It really worked as a philosophy to help him through his life. While it may not be the easiest path, I warned him, but he got 6 planets in Capricorn, so it had to be. It's usually worth it for the peace of mind it brings. You may swing between extremes of fulfilling all your obligations to the neglect of your own truth and purpose, or neglecting your obligations and doing whatever you choose, which only means that those obligations will be there when you get to them, and they will have most likely increased by the time you do. Balance is the key. Practice. There is no perfection, and it's time to practice handling business before pleasure. So I think we're going to say the business of July, August is self-care and replenishment and resetting yourself as an individual based on the social collective shifts that have happened in the last 6 months. What do you have and what do you need? Like a straight personal inventory across the board is going to be what's most useful right now for everyone. And then cleaning things out, lightening up, simplifying, and figuring out where you want to go from here. What is the priority from here? Then the other activation, we have a very light week, all things considered, but of course there's a new moon and there is some intensity. The sun is shifting into Leo. It's still an active week, even though we only have these 2 official activations. So the 22nd is Wednesday, when Mercury will sextile Uranus. Well, that's beautiful. This energy says it is time to go with the flow. Okay, so this is one I forgot to say up front, is the final hit in 3 times over with Mercury retrograde. So this is an important one because this is the rewiring we've done throughout the retrograde, because while it's in Cancer, it always is going to sextile Taurus. That's an opportunity for us to care for our bodies, for us to tune into our own reality, to check in with our personal security needs and issues, food, sex, and money. What do we need there? This is totally what's been going on through June and July, up for review, let's say. So now this is the final hit. So when we're in it, you always hear me say it's hard to know what's what. But once we get to the other side of it, meaning by August, again, more clarity is going to come, so that by September, everything makes a little more sense, at least for you, the individual. At any rate, when these 2 get together, it's still, Uranus is always going to create change and make you change your mind about something or change your thinking about something. And an unwillingness to go with the new flow will make this energy harder to handle. So if you don't want to change, if you resist change, then it is going to be hard. This is also a good time to try to resolve any old issues or challenges. They are not going away without resolution and conscious release. So we've definitely done that 3 times over. Perhaps you've been trying the same thing over and over, and it's time to try something new. Now is the time new ideas can and will come to you. So pay attention. Try to be open and receptive to unusual things, events, or ideas, and allow room for spontaneity and improvisation. You may think you are doing one thing and look up and be doing something completely different. So be open to exploring the new path. Okay, so powerful, potent week for sure, even though it's light on activations. So I just want to also remind everyone, because I'm fielding a few more emails and texts this week than last, about where we are on Instagram. I'm coming back, I promise. I have fun there. I love it. I want to come back. I'm coming back on August 4th. It's the first Tuesday in August. And we'll figure something out by then that will have a little more structure, and I can be a little bit more consistent in posting, because I think I'll be activating a phone, for those of you who know my ongoing phone saga. And why I haven't done so well with Instagram is because I don't have one of those super phones. But I think the universe and this Mercury retrograde are forcing me to give it a shot. So we'll see. And my Instagram family, you're gonna have to help me, because this isn't my forte. But I'm willing in a way that I haven't been willing in the last 10 years. So I thank you all for being part of my community and helping me evolve as well and move to my next levels and embrace new beginnings, and new technology being one of them. I am very grateful for the support that technology brings, because it allows me to connect with you. So reach out if you need to, and have a fantastic week. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. This is Kelly Beard of computerized.com, and I am so grateful for your time, energy, and support. Please share this with those you think would resonate, and reach out if and when you need to. Kelly at computerized.com. The goal of my weekly forecast is to alert you to the energies and activations that we're all experiencing, and the possibilities for conscious co-creation as an individual. Awareness of the energies is the first key. But I invite you to take it to the next level by checking out my readings, telecircles, and subscriptions, which are all geared toward individual support that helps you understand your own unique blueprint. My specialty is cycles and patterns, and I love helping people figure out their own within the context of the social and collective rhythm. To some, working with their own cycles and patterns is a completely new and foreign concept. But there are many planetary cycles that coincide with natural life cycles that allow us to co-create in mystical as well as practical ways. I create custom tools that I have tried and tested myself for almost 40 years, and I do the work alongside my circle every time. So I hope you will reach out if you feel called to dive deeper into your own soul's natural rhythm. Talk to you soon. One love.